On the day of the wedding, the groom and the bridesmaid had sex in the VIP room. After getting angry, I broke off the engagement on the spot. Unexpectedly, the bridesmaid put on a wedding dress directly and went on to complete the wedding. Watching the two of them hugging each other excitedly at the wedding scene, declaring the meaning of love, love makes people crazy, and people must be impulsive once in their lives. The two of them won the blessings of the audience with a grand ceremony. I clapped my hands and cheered in the audience. Oh, I'm really moved. But the groom didn't know that the bridesmaid had just told me that she was pregnant a few days ago, and the bridesmaid didn't know that the groom had infertility. We were supposed to be dinks. On the wedding day, I wanted to go to the bathroom in my heavy wedding dress, but the groom Zhang Yu was busy in the front hall, and the bridesmaid's Wu Xiao Bi was not by my side. Thinking that the public bathroom was not clean, I decided to go to the VIP room. Just when my fingers were about to touch the door handle, I found movement inside. I couldn't help blushing when I heard the sound. There was a rapid breathing sound inside, and people who have experienced it will know it at once. Who is so bold to be so unrestrained in such a place? I tried to suppress my desire to eat melons and planned to quietly leave. Brother Zhang, is it exciting? My fingers trembled, and it was like thunder and lightning. No matter how small the voice was, it was no match for what I'd heard for more than 20 years. Don't be nervous, don't tear it. This is the bridesmaid dress. I stood outside the door, listening to the loud noises and dirty words inside. Who can understand the feeling of eating melons on yourself? My heart was surging, and I wanted to go in unkill, that I was shaking and couldn't move. It turns out that when people are extremely angry, they can't control their bodies. The wedding dress dragged on the ground, like an abandoned white fish tail. My heart was like being hit by a heavy hammer, and anger and disappointment intertwined into a mess in my heart. I clenched my fists until I felt a piercing pain in my palms, and then I woke up. The sound inside seemed to be laughing at my stupidity and ignorance. I never thought that such a bloody plot would happen. After calming down, I quietly took out my phone, turned on the camera function, and pointed it at the bathroom door. I thought a century had passed, but when I looked at the time, it was only 3 minutes. The intense voice inside stopped abruptly. You are too fast. Zhu Zhao, Bi complained, dissatisfied lie. I'm too nervous, and I've been staying up late a lot recently. Then there were rustling footsteps from inside. With a creak, the door opened. The moment our eyes met, I knew everything was over. Why are you here? Shen Yu hurriedly straightened his suit, his eyes panicked. I sneered. Should I be the one saying this? Why are you here? Su Zhaobi hurriedly walked up to me. It's not what you think. My things fell under the sink. I called Brother Shang to help me. Snapped. I slapped him. Su Zhaobi, do you have to lie to me for a stinky man? Zhang Yu saw this and hurriedly pulled me away, tightly protecting Zhu Zhaobi. Jia, you are too much. Let's talk nice. I swung my hand and hit him again, hitting Zhang Yu so hard that he couldn't react, so I hit him again. Zhang Yu saw that I was serious and immediately pushed me out. My feet stepped on the long hem of my skirt, and the whole person fell to the ground behind. Shu Jia, you are very sick. I looked up at him. Zhang Yu, the only thing you have left is your mouth. You are really hot-tempered. I looked at him with contempt. You are a rotten cucumber. Whoever wants to marry you can marry you. I don't want you anymore. After that, I strode towards the locker room. Zhang Yu wanted to chase him out, but was stopped by Zhu Xiao Bi. Brother Zhang, the truth will come out sooner or later. Look at her like that. Do you really want to marry her? So aggrieved lie? I didn't hear the rest of the words. After I changed my clothes in the dressing room, I suddenly smiled with relief. A few days ago, I found out that Zhu Xiaobia was pregnant. I asked her whose child it was, but she hesitated and didn't want to say it. I was busy preparing for I didn't ask her carefully, thinking that I would talk about it after I was done with this period. As for Zhang Yu, we have been together for 3 years. I know that he is not good in that aspect. He even went to the hospital for this matter. As a result, the doctor told him that he was born with a Zeusparashmi and could not have children in this life. Only he and I knew about this matter. In order to take care of his dignity, I never mentioned it to anyone. I also comforted him that when two people love each other, that aspect is just the spice of life. If there is no child, we will be dinks. As long as we love each other enough and support each other until we grow old, I have no regrets. But in this situation, I just feel that life has played a big joke on me, and he doesn't deserve my love at all. I called my parents from the front hall to the dressing room. While waiting for people, Xiang Yu and Zhu Xiaobia walked in hand. I looked at the interlocked fingers and suddenly wanted to watch a big show, so I controlled my emotions and immediately went crazy. Do you two have any shame? Now relatives, friends, and colleagues are all waiting for the bride to appear in the front hall. Zhang Yu, let's see how you end up. I showed a gloating expression and you just wait to be embarrassed. Sure enough, when Zhu Xiaobia saw me saying this, he immediately looked at me provocatively. How can Brother Zhang be embarrassed? You are not the only one who can be the bride. Zhang Yu was also irritated by me. He decided to hold a wedding with Xiaobia immediately. I am afraid that you are the only one who will be embarrassed. Zhu you are really thinking big. Zhang Yu, you don't think I can fulfill your wish so easily, do you? I'm going to make a big scene in the front and put the video of you just in the bathroom on the big screen. Zhang Yu was visibly scared. He let go of Zhu Xiaobi's hand and excitedly held my shoulders. Jia, don't make a fuss. I know I am sorry for you, but what good will it to you if you ruin my reputation? You shall be as seeing this. I immediately pulled him away from me. What do you mean? How can you give in to him? You just said you would marry me. Shan Yu was overwhelmed. Seeing that the atmosphere had reached this point, I immediately stopped while I was ahead. How about this, Zhang Yu, since you have made a promise to Zhu Zhaobi? A man should always keep it, right? You have let me down. Are you going to let her down too? Transfer the money for decorating the wedding furniture and appliances to me now, and I will help you to be together. Zhang Yu immediately got angry. You wish. When Zhu Xiaobi heard that I wanted more money, he immediately started to sneer. Why should I give it to you? I said calmly, in that case, I paid for the decoration and home appliances. I'll have someone smash it now. Upon hearing this, Zhu Xiaobi's eyes rolled. When I decorated the house and bought furniture and appliances, he had often looked on with envy. Oh, Jia, your decoration is really high-end, and this store is so fashionable and convenient. When I get married, I'll use your decoration as a model. Now that I said I was going to smash it, I had already made up my mind. Give it to me. Shit, you got angry and said no. I watched the show from the side. It seems that you are not very good in his heart. Zhu Zhao, Bi immediately slapped his arm. Zhang Yu, are you lying to me? You should break up with him immediately, transfer the money to him now, and then cut off all contact. I immediately called up the QR code. A total of 200,000. Don't delay the front. The wedding music is playing. Zhang Yu was put on the frying pan by Zhu Zhao Bi, and he was in a dilemma. I know that there are only 200,000 in his card, but Zhu Xiaobi doesn't know. He still thinks he is a diamond bachelor. It's just that I gave Zhang Yu enough face in front of Zhu Xiaobi before, which made him have an illusion. Zhang Yu looked at me and then looked at Zhu Xiaobi. I've had enough of you, Zhu Jia. It turns out that money is calculated so clearly here. Zhang Yu gritted his teeth and took out his mobile phone and transferred the only 200,000 in his card to me. Jiang Yuan, I work in the same company. We interviewed together and got into the company. He is a boy and has more opportunities than me. I tried 200 to prove that I am excellent and survived the internship. On the day of becoming a regular employee, the boss praised me at the meeting. Only then did Zhang Yu formally look at me. Later, we often worked overtime together and worked on projects together, and gradually we got together. I had many opportunities for promotion, but for him, I put all my efforts on him, thinking that he was a man and had a good future. Our life would not be too bad in the future, but now I know that my passion was all in vain. Love makes people crazy. People have to be impulsive once in their lives. Xiao Yu and Zhu Zhao Bi shouted loudly and hugged each other excitedly. The thunderous applause around me brought me back to reality. I took a piece of wedding candy on the table and put it in my mouth. It was so sweet. I pushed open the closed door and walked out. Facing the warm sunshine, I smiled and wiped away the tears from the corners of my eyes. I was impulsive, but impulsiveness is the devil. I went to the wedding room where there were some of my personal belongings. When I was almost done packing, Zhang Yu and Zhu Xiaobi pushed the door open. They didn't even notice my presence, but hugged each other and started chewing as soon as they entered the room. They tore each other's clothes passionately. I think I shouldn't be here at this moment. I should be under the car. I watched silently until Zhu Xiao caught a glimpse of me from the corner of her eye. Ah, she screamed, and Zhang Yu screamed unconsciously. What should I do if you scare him like this? I'm afraid he won't be able to hold on for 3 minutes in the future. I held back my laughter, looked at Zhang Yu's embarrassed appearance, and said apologetically, sorry, I just came back to pack my personal belongings and I'm almost done. You guys continue. I walked out the bed, but Zhu Xiaobi eyed my arm. He took out the marriage certificate from his bag and threw it in front of me. Jia, thank you for your help. We will still be good friends in the future, right? Is Zhu Xiaobi out of his mind? He actually wants to be good friends with me. I looked at the two bright reed notebooks, as if I saw a group of alpacas running on the green grassland. I shook off his hand and put my face close to Zhu Xiaobi's ear. I said you should take it easy. After all, you can't stand the tossing now. Oh, yes, his 3 minutes should be harmless, so I wish you happiness. If I don't leave, the arc of my mouth will be stretched to my ears. I closed the door for them and only heard Su Xiaobi eyes shouting faintly from inside. Why is he so weird? It seems that you are not that important in his heart. Fortunately, you married me. The next day I went to work as usual. Zhang, you asked for wedding leave. I have to adjust everything in these 3 days. My colleagues all looked at me like gossip, and only my immediate boss, Sister Li, called me to the office. Jia, I went to give you a gift, and you made me spend your money in vain. When he said this, I immediately felt guilty. Sister Li, I'm really sorry. When I'm done with this busy period, I'll treat everyone to a good meal as compensation. Sister Li poked my forehead with her finger helplessly. Look at you, you've achieved a lot. Your phone was turned off when I called you yesterday, which scared us all. I was relieved to see you come to work today. But Zhang Yu is really not a very kind guy. I interrupted him hurriedly. Sisterly, let's not talk about him. I just want to work hard now. It's hard to find a three-legged frog, but there are many two-legged men. Seeing that I really had nothing to do, Sister Lee immediately patted me on the shoulder. I have always been optimistic about your work ability, but you always make wedding dresses for others. Work hard and don't go into extremes. Good days are still to come. I exchanged a few words with him and returned to my workstation. I didn't have time to pay attention to those gossips. What I have to do now is to get back the project that I helped Shang Yu get, and I also want to let him taste what betrayal is. 3 days later, Shang Yu came to work on his first day with a radiant look. The atmosphere in the office, which was already gossipy, was even more restless. However, my performance completely disappointed them. I didn't have time to indulge in a rotten relationship. The company was going to promote a project manager this time, and Zhang Yu was among the candidates. Before our wedding, he was preparing for this promotion. He was anxious and had no new ideas. I helped him to make plans, and even the entire project plan was polished by me bit by bit. Unexpected characters in front of the computer day and night. He was actually looking for flowers and asking willows. So happy! Just the day before the proposal, I worked overtime until late at night and finally perfected the final draft. I planned to have a fair competition with Shang Yu, but when I went to work the next day, I found that my computer had been tampered with. It turned on and the screen was blue, and the whole computer was paralyzed. I looked at the colleagues around me who were buried in their heads. No one noticed me here. Only Zhang Yu couldn't help but sneak a glance at me. I shook my head, helplessly unplanned, to go to Sister Li's office, but Zhang Yu stood up and stopped me halfway. My colleagues, who were originally working hard, all looked over at me. This feeling made me feel uncomfortable. Jia, I have something to tell you. I pushed him away directly. I have nothing to say to you. Zhang Yu grabbed my wrist and said, let's go outside to talk. I looked at my watch. There was still half an hour before the proposal was due. I had something else to do and didn't have time to talk to you outside. Please let go. You are already a married man. Please respect yourself. Unexpectedly, he increased his strength and pulled me towards the emergency exit. Just 10 minutes, I have something to tell you. His hand was very strong and hurt me directly. I didn't care about much and slapped him in the face. Jia, you are simply unreasonable. He was desperate. Shanye, I'm telling you, we are colleagues now. If you touch me now, be careful or I will sue you for workplace harassment. I have been very polite to you just now. After saying that, I ignored his expression and went directly to Sister Lee's office. I didn't come out for the next half hour. When the meeting started, Jian Yu saw Sister Li and I come in at the same time and heaved a sigh of relief quietly. He probably thought he had won this time, but when the chairman read my name, Jian Yu was obviously stunned, and his swollen half-face became even redder. Sister Li gave me a thumbs up and signaled me not to be nervous. I walked to the stage, plugged the USB drive into the computer, and a perfect PPT file was displayed. In the half hour on the stage, I talked about my initial insights on the project and how I conducted an in-depth investigation in the end, overturned several versions of myself, and finally came up with the perfect plan now. When I finished speaking, you could hear a pin drop in the conference room until the applause rang out like thunder. At this moment, my eyes were sore. The chairman stood up and walked to me and shook my hand. You really didn't let me down. His words were light, but they fell on my heart and gave me infinite strength. I was excited, tears rolled in my eyes. This is what I deserve. Shan Yu bit his fist and looked at me fiercely because his version was completely my revised version. I had personally denied that version when I was explaining my point of view. He was unprepared and could only abstain. Sister Li prepared a celebration banquet for me. I also want to take this opportunity to thank those who went to the wedding because of me. So everyone was very happy in the evening and drank a lot of wine at the table. After the dinner, I arranged for them all to leave. I took advantage of the alcohol to get rid of the alcohol and wanted to relax and stroll back. People were coming and going on the street. I looked at the neon lights of the city and suddenly felt that this world was beautiful. There weren't any things I could do. Love was really just the shortest and most illusory illusion in my life. I sat on a bench by the river blowing the warm wind and took out my phone to post a circle of friends about the night view of the river. Before I logged out, I saw Zhu Xiaobi's message to me. Don't be upset. You're not going to jump into the river, are you? I frowned and clicked on Zhu Xiaobi's profile picture. His latest update was to show off the diamond ring on his finger. His hand was only thicker than mine, and he couldn't wear the model of my diamond ring. It seemed that he forced Shang Yu to change him to a bigger and more expensive ring. I wanted to block him, but my fingers stopped. I hadn't told him the truth in person yet. Now was not the time to delete him. A dark figure sat down next to me, and I was so scared that I quickly put away my phone. Are you following me? Zhang Yu looked at me dejectedly, holding a can of unfinished beer in his hand. Jia, I didn't expect you to be such a selfish person. His eyes were full of hurt, and people who didn't know would think that I had done something to offend him, and he was the victim. I quickly stood up, as if to stay away from the pervert. As the saying goes, if you don't work for yourself, you'll be punished by heaven and earth. Shan Yu, I was nice to you before. That's because you were a part of my life. Who are you now? I don't care whether you are nice or not. I turned my head and walked away, and took a picture of his surprised and hurt expression and sent it to Zhu Xiaobi. Take care of your own dog. What if it bites people randomly? Shang Yu is going to follow me, but the next second his phone rang, and I quickly ran away. 6. Zhu Xiaobi is my childhood friend. We are neighbors. He didn't like studying since he was a child, and he was thinking about how to be vain and how to go out to play all day. He often went to school with me, but he would run away halfway. When school was over, he would accurately block me and go home together. Later, I went to the county town to study in high school, and he stopped studying. Since then, we have lost contact. Later, I graduated from college and stayed in the city, where I met Xiang Yu. When I went home for the Chinese New Year again, I met him again. Because of our childhood friendship, we have always been in contact. He is like a plaster, always sticking to me. Later, he came to the city and said he wanted to work in the city so that he could make more money. He had no education and found a job in a milk tea shop. He envied my life all the time, and I never complained to him. I thought that in this cold and strange city, we were good sisters who depended on each other, but reality gave me a heavy blow. I lay on the bed, recalling everything that happened between Zhu Xiaobi and me from childhood to adulthood. She is very sweet and always coaxes people around. Your clothes are so beautiful, unlike me, who can only wear ugly work clothes every day. Your bag is so high-end, it's really fashionable for white-collar workers to work. You have a good taste. I will buy one. I get my salary at the end of the month. Whenever these times, I will open my wardrobe and let her choose a few clothes and bags that she likes to take home. After a long time, we seem to have become accustomed to this way of getting along, but I didn't expect that people's jealousy will knock people off track and do not hesitate to self-destruct. Suddenly, a message popped up on my phone. You're so despicable that you stole Zhang Yu's information and affected my husband's promotion and salary increase. I will never let you go. I looked at the message he sent and smiled helplessly. Zhang Yu is really good. It turns out that this is how he coaxed Zhu Xiaobi. I was too lazy to quarrel with him, so I turned off my phone to hide. But I didn't expect that Zhu Xiaobi would come to our company to make trouble the next day. When he rushed into our company angrily, everyone was in a meeting. He pushed the door open and the whole venue was silent for a few seconds. He glanced around and locked onto our chairman. You are Zhang Yu's boss, right? I say, are you blind? Zhu Jiajia got promoted by using my husband's plan. Are you having an affair with Zhu Jiajia? She slept with you. Zhang Yu covered her mouth and dragged her out, Chairman. I'm sorry. I'll take her away immediately. Seeing that she was about to be dragged out, Lu Xiaobi twisted her body, and with a somersault she broke free from Zhang Yu's restraint and slapped him. Are you sick? I'm here to seek justice for you, and you're still covering my mouth. Tell me, are you still reluctant to part with him? Do you still want to be with him? Do you still want to be with him? Zhang Yu was scratched by his manicure, and there were several bloody marks on his face. He looked at me helplessly and pulled her wrist again. Can you stop making trouble? At this moment, the security guards had also arrived, and several people dragged Zhu Xiaobi downstairs in a few seconds. Unexpectedly, Zhu Xiaobi screamed like crazy, I'm pregnant. Dare you touch me again? The air was rare quiet for a few seconds, and the security guard let daring to touch him. Zhang Yu was shocked and couldn't recover. It seemed that the word pregnancy was so unfamiliar to him, or even a shame. I didn't expect the truth to be exposed so quickly. Zhang Yu walked in front of Zhu Xiaobi, trembling lie. What did you say? Zhu Xiaobi raised his face and looked proud. I said, I'm pregnant with your child. Zhang Yu's face was ugly, and Zhu Xiaobi also realized his abnormality. I won't lie to you about this kind of thing. Let's see who dares to touch me today. As he said, Zhu Xiaobi looked at me provocatively between his eyebrows. I received the signal and immediately walked to Zhang Yu. Then congratulations to both of you. I didn't expect that after just drinking the wedding wine, we will be able to drink the full moon wine in a few months. Zhang Yu looked at me as if he had swallowed a fly. Congratulations? Ah, congratulations. In order to ease the atmosphere just now, some colleagues around had begun to echo, take your wife back to have a rest. If you have anything to say, just talk at home. What's the big deal about coming to the company to make trouble? Seeing this, Sister Li on the side hurriedly reminded Zhang Yu to take Zhu Xiaobi away. But Zhang Yu was obviously unable to withstand this sudden cuckold. He glared at Zhu Xiaobi fiercely, and his expression looked like he wanted to kill someone. Faced with the words congratulations from his colleagues, he suddenly lost his mind. Tell me, whose bastard are you pregnant with? As soon as he said this, the whole company was silent again. Where had Zhu Xiaobi seen him like this? Thinking that he had done it perfectly and found a perfect scapegoat, he couldn't understand why Zhang Yu would suspect that the child he was pregnant with was not his, so he was still arguing confidently, Zhang Yu, are you a human being? At this moment, the two had already lost their minds. Zhang Yu slapped him in the face. I told you to lie. Then the second and third slaps followed. Zhu Xiaobi was stunned, and everyone present was stunned. I immediately stepped forward and grabbed Zhang Yu's arm. Zhang Yu, stop hitting me. Zhang Yu raised his hand and swollen it, and I fell to the ground. I blurted out, Xiaobi, I doesn't know that you are infertile. She is pregnant. Can't you just raise the child? Zhang Yu stared at me with bloodshot eyes and immediately retorted, who wants to raise a bastard? I immediately stood up and patted the non-existent dust on my body. First of all, you have to be a man. Zhu Xiaobi, with a swollen nose and face, heard what I said and rushed over like crazy. What do you mean? What do you mean she is infertile? I looked at my colleagues around me and said, Shen, you should tell you this. I said it's inappropriate. Zhu Jia, if you don't tell me, I will tear your mouth apart. I pretended to be scared. Don't get excited. You still have a baby in your belly. Zhan Yu suffers from congenital azuspiration. We originally planned to be DINKS, but now it's okay. You have a red-made baby in your belly. You can form a perfect and happy family. I finally said these words in front of everyone. It was so cool that I couldn't help laughing in my heart. But the air was too quiet, so quiet that it was scary. The drama of eating melons, reversals and reversals on the spot made everyone around brainstorm. Until Xu Xiaobi stepped forward and scratched Zhang Yu's face, the two of them wrestled together wildly. You are a liar. You are a 3-second man. You are a liar. You are a whore. You Viagra. You are a bitch. Impulsive to impulsive. In the end, the farce had to be ended by calling the police. After that, I devoted myself to the project field investigation. During the 1-month business trip, I deleted all the contact information of Zhang Yu and Zhu Xiaobi. I only heard colleagues discussing it occasionally. They said that Zhang Yu could no longer hold his head up in the company. The chairman also had a lot of opinions about him. He really couldn't stand that kind of atmosphere and resigned directly. After such a commotion, Zhu Xiaobi also lost the child. During the confinement period, he calmly investigated Zhang Yu. He checked all of Zhang Yu's assets. Except for the house they lived in, he was almost penniless. So Zhu Xiaobi felt that he had picked up a piece of garbage that looked good but was useless. The two of them had a big fight at the beginning. Now Zhang Yu wanted a divorce, but Zhu Xiaobi refused to give in. He was thinking about not letting Zhang Yu. It's better. Even if we divorce, we have to peel off a layer of skin from him. At least he wants this house. Zhang Yu naturally didn't know Zhu Xiaobi's wishful thinking. He wanted a divorce, but he couldn't understand why Zhu Xiaobi was holding on. Unexpectedly, Zhang Yu and I were supposed to be entangled in a lifelong bond, but now he has become a gossip topic after dinner. The project went smoothly. After the field investigation, there was a startup banquet. Colleagues rarely relaxed and everyone was very happy. But on the way back to the hotel, I felt that a pair of eyes were staring at me. Women's sixth sense is naturally sharp, but when I looked back, there was no one behind me. Just as we entered the hotel lobby, a figure finally appeared. It was Sheng Yin. I didn't expect his arrival. Jia, can I talk to you? Sister Li sneered at the side. What is there to talk about? Let's go. Jia, I have something to say to you. Zhang Yu begged again and again. I knew that if I didn't agree, he would probably harass me endlessly tonight, just in the hotel lobby. Say what you want to say. I motioned to other colleagues to go up, but they sat down on the sofa not far from us. I felt warm in my heart. I hadn't seen Zhang Yu for more than a month, and he looked more haggard than I had ever seen him. His shirt was wrinkled with stains that had not been cleaned up. His hair had grown longer, and he looked decadent and didn't look like an elite at all. Go ahead. Zhang Yu opened his mouth as if he couldn't say the language of the organization. It took a full half-minute before a sentence came out of his throat. Can you forgive me? This sentence was like a fly reeling into my throat, making me sick. Zhang Yu, where do you get the confidence that I can still forgive you? His eyes flickered, and he choked with tears. I have thought a lot recently, and I realize that you are the person who loves me the most in this world. You can accept my imperfections. You can tolerate my shortcomings. You encourage me. You make me successful. And we are the most suitable couple in the world. It's me who doesn't know what's good for me, and I don't know how to cherish. Jia, please, you love me so much. You will definitely forgive me, right? I looked at him, and suddenly there was a moment when I felt that life was so absurd under the wings of love. How many people have been deceived by hormones? I fantasized that we would have a deceived by hormones. I fantasized that we would have a bright future. I fantasized that we would have a homes. I fantasized that we would have a home, but when the horn will find out this, I'm going back to my room now, and please don't disturb my life again in the future. At 1 o'clock in the middle of the night, someone suddenly knocked on my door. I immediately called the front desk, but heard Sister Lee's voice at the door. Gia, Gia, it's me. I put down the phone and walked to the door to listen, and there was another knock on the door accompanied by Sister Lee's voice. Gia, Gia, it's me. I let down my guard and opened the door, but there was nothing there. Just as I was about to call Sister Lee to ask what was going on, a dark shadow rushed in, knocked my phone to the ground, covered my mouth tightly with one hand. Everything happened so fast that I panicked and lost my judgment. When I saw who it was, a nameless annoyance rose in my heart. It was Zhang Yu. Zhang Yu kept covering my mouth. I deliberately struggled and knocked over various items in the room, but the carpet on the floor eliminated a lot of sounds. I was tightly imprisoned in the bed by him, and he said to me viciously, "There is nothing that can't be solved by sleeping, right? If I can satisfy you, you will forgive me." I widened my eyes in shock. He was really crazy. Why would he have such a dirty idea? As he said that, he took out a bottle of liquid from his pocket and poured it into his mouth. Then he pinched my neck with one hand, and I felt it was difficult to breathe. He spit the liquid in his mouth into my mouth. Every time he drank a sip, he blocked my mouth again. I coughed because of the liquid, but I couldn't breathe. I felt like my lungs were going to explode. In a daze, I seemed to see a beam of light, and I saw my dead grandma waving at me. My hands were struggling weakly. I didn't want to die. I still had a good life to enjoy, and I still had a lot of unfinished things. I ran with my back to the light, but stepped into the abyss. Ah! I screamed, then opened my eyes and saw the incandescent light above my head. The patient is conscious, his heartbeat is normal, his blood pressure is normal, and his stomach has been cleaned. I never thought that one day I would be so close to death. By the bedside, Sister Lee saw that I woke up. Her eyes read, "Damn it. You must not be soft-hearted. Let him go to jail." My eyes moved. How could I be soft-hearted when facing someone who wanted to kill me? If I hadn't been a light sleeper and heard something wrong in your room, you wouldn't know what happened. As she spoke, she wiped away her ears again. I pulled her hand. "Sister Lee, you're really my benefactor. Have you called the police?" Sister Lee immediately said, "The police are waiting outside. They said they will find you to take a statement when you are awake. Let them in." I'm very awake now. Then it turned out that Shang Yu's bottle of liquid was an aphrodisiac, commonly known as Viagra. She put a hold box in the water. Fortunately, I didn't swallow much while struggling, otherwise the consequences would be disastrous. I sued him for attempted rape and premeditated murder, and all the subsequent matters were handed over to the lawyer to handle. When Zhu Xiaobi found out about this, the case had already reached the judgment stage. When the judge announced that Shang Yu should compensate me for mental damages, Zhu Xiaobi finally exploded. "What's wrong with you? My husband is in jail. How can I still have money to compensate him? I tell you, his money is now our common property. If you want to take money from me, no way." His rude words directly disrupted the court's verdict. After the court adjourned for a trial, the judge directly pronounced the result of the case. Shang Yu was sentenced to 3 years in prison and compensated me for my mental damages, medical expenses, etc. Since he had no savings, he decided to mortgage the house under his name and the money would belong to me. Zhu Xiaobi, I was completely dumbfounded. He cried and yelled at Zhang Yu for being an ungrateful person. In the end, he lost both his money and his life. I thought that this was the end of the matter, but Zhu Xiaobi was more capable than I thought. Zhang Yu was diagnosed with a sexually transmitted disease 1 month after being imprisoned. The incubation period of this disease can be long or short. He got sick after only 1 month in prison. It is conceivable who infected him with the disease. When the hospital called me to go for a physical examination, I was really shocked. Fortunately, he did not succeed in doing it to me that night. Otherwise, I would definitely not be able to escape. After the test results came out, I was completely relieved. But Zhu Xiaobi, I did not cooperate with the examination and scolded the doctor in the hospital for misdiagnosis. When he saw me, he wanted to tear me apart with his hands. Several people could only hold him down on the bed and give him a shot of tranquilizer. "Doctor, thank you for your hard work." He must have been stimulated. Don't let him run around. After all, this disease is contagious. 115 years later, I left the city completely. The project was very successful, and the chairman also recognized my ability and promoted me to project director of the Australian region. I left here without hesitation. Then, one day, I was on a video call with my mother. There were people playing music and singing outside, and it was very lively. Mom, whose family is having a party? It's so lively. My mother's face sank, and she took her phone into the bedroom and whispered to me, "Oh, shall be I. Didn't he have a dirty disease? He was not in a good mental state later, and he didn't get treatment. Today is the day of his funeral." I was silent for a long time and finally just said softly, "Good night." The wind outside the window blew the curtains, and the neon lights in the distance were still flashing. Some stories are wrong from the beginning, and some people will eventually pay the price for their choices. This farce has finally become a thing of the past, and I have already walked very far on the road to a new life.